partisan president, but he became the most partisan of our presidents, blaming, attacking, dividing. Then he was going to focus on creating jobs. Instead, he focused on Obamacare, which killed jobs. He said he was going to cut the federal deficit in half, but then he doubled it. He said that the unemployment rate would now be at 5.2%. Today we learned it's at 7.9%. And by the way, that's 9 million jobs short of what was promised. Unemployment is higher today than when he took office. He promised that he'd propose a plan to save Social Security and Medicare from insolvency. He didn't. And rather, he raided $716 billion from Medicare for his vaunted Obamacare plan. He said he'd lower health care premiums for the average family by $2,500 a year. Now they're higher by $3,000 a year. And gasoline, the American family pays $2,000 a year more for gasoline than when the president was elected. We also say work across the aisle on the most important issues. He has not met on the economy or on the budget or on jobs with either the Republican leader of the House or the Senate since July. So instead of bridging the divide, he's made it wider. Now, how is it that he's fallen so far short of what he promised? In part, it's because he'd never led before, never worked across the aisle, never truly understood how jobs are created in the real economy. And so today he makes new promises. Promises he'll be unable to keep because he admits he's going to stay on the same path. The same course we've been on will not lead to a better destination, Mr. President. The same path means $20 trillion in debt. It means crippling unemployment, stagnant take-home pay, depressed home values, and a devastated military. And unless we change, we may be looking at another recession. The question of this election comes down to this. Do you want more of the same, or do you want real change? Now, President Obama promised change, but he couldn't deliver it. I promised change, and I have a record of achieving it. I actually built a business, and I turned around another business. I helped put an Olympics back on track. And with a Democrat legislature, I helped turn my state from deficit to surplus, from job losses to job growth, and from higher taxes to higher take-home pay. That's why I'm running for president. I know how to change the course the nation is on. I know how to get us to a balanced budget. I know how to build jobs and rising take-home pay. And by the way, accomplishing real change is not something I just talk about. It's something I've done. It's what I'm going to do when I'm president of the United States, with your help. If you believe we can do better, if you believe America should be on a better course, if you're tired of being tired, then I ask you to vote for real change, and Paul Ryan will bring real change to America from day one. When we're elected, the economy and American jobs will still be stagnant, but I'm not going to waste any time complaining about my predecessor. I won't spend my effort trying to pass partisan legislation unrelated to economic growth. From day one, I'm going to go to work to help Americans get back to work. People across the country are responding to our 5-part plan to create jobs, and you've heard about it before. Part 1 is taking full advantage of our energy resources. On day one, I'm going to act to increase the number of leases and permits to drill on federal lands. I'm going to act to speed approval of the Keystone Pipeline from Canada. And I'm going to revisit coal regulations that were designed by the administration to strangle the industry. So on day one, we'll be closer to energy independence. Now, second, I'm going to move to boost trade, especially in Latin America, and I'm going to ask Congress for trade promotion authority. That's a power every president has used or requested since it was first created in 1974, with the exception of President Obama. And I will finally designate China as a currency manipulator. It's time for trade to work for America. Third, I'm going to send Congress the Retraining Reform Act to make sure that every worker who feels left behind in this economy can get the skills and the chance for a good-paying job. We deserve it. Fourth, I'm going to move to tackle out-of-control spending. I'm going to send Congress the first of several fundamental reforms. The first will be called the Down Payment on Fiscal Sanity Act, to immediately cut, not just slow the rate of growth, but actually cut non-security discretionary spending by 5%. And by the way, I'm not just going to take office on January 20th. I'm going to take responsibility for that office as well. And number five, I'm going to act to boost small business and all business. I'm going to issue executive orders aimed straight at the problems that are holding this economy back. The first will grant state waivers from Obamacare to every state so we can begin its repeal. The launch of a sweeping review of all Obama-era regulations will follow with an eye to eliminating or repairing any regulation that kills jobs or hurts small business. And by the way, every entrepreneur, every small business person, every job creator will know that for the first time in 4 years, the government of the United States likes them and loves the jobs and higher wages they bring to our fellow Americans. We've almost forgotten what a real recovery looks like. What Americans can achieve when we limit government instead of limiting the dreams of our fellow Americans. And that's going to change. Now you can choose your future. You know what you need to know. You can stay on the path of the last 4 years, or you can choose real change. You know that if the president were to be reelected, he would still be unable to work with the people in Congress. He's ignored them, he's attacked them, blamed them. The debt ceiling, it's going to come up again, and shut down and default will be threatened, chilling the economy. The president was right the other day when he said he can't change Washington from the inside. We're going to take him at his word and give him a chance to be outside Washington soon. When I'm elected president, I'm going to work with Republicans and Democrats in Congress. I'm going to meet regularly with their leaders. I'll endeavor to find those good men and women on both sides of the aisle who care more about the country than about politics. Together, we're going to put the nation on track to a balanced budget, to reform our tax code, and to finally reaffirm our commitment to financial responsibility. Now, you know, if the president were to be reelected, he'd continue his war on coal and oil and natural gas. He'd send billions of more dollars to his favorite solar and wind companies. And all of this will guarantee higher energy prices at the pump and fewer jobs. Today, gas costs twice as much as it did when President Obama was elected. When I'm elected, we're going to change course on energy. I know just how much energy means to middle-class families. We can help hold down prices at the pump, grow new energy and manufacturing jobs, and get North American energy independence. Now, you know, if the president's reelected, he's going to continue to promote government and demote businesses. He chose, by the way, his own Jobs Council. It was made up of the business leaders he selected. You know how long it's been since he met with them? 9 months. 9 months. Now, you see, I see free enterprise as a means for people to fulfill their dreams. Yesterday, I was in Richmond, Virginia. I met Rhoda Elliott. She's been running her family restaurants for years. It's a business that's been in her family for 82 years. At its high point, she employed 200 people at Bill's Barbecue. She just closed it down, telling me that regulations and taxes and Obamacare and the effects of the Obama economy put her out of business after 82 years. She teared up. This wasn't about money. This is about the future for her family. and for her family of employees. Look, I want to help the hundreds of thousands of dreamers like Rhoda, and I will. Now, you know that if the president is reelected, he's going to say every good thing he can think of about education. But in the final analysis, he'll do what his largest campaign supporters, the public sector's unions, will insist upon. And your kids will be in the same schools with the same results. When I'm president, I'm going to be a voice of the children and their parents. There's no union for the PTA. I'm going to make sure parents have the information they need to know if their school is succeeding or failing, and I want them to have the choice they need to pick the school where their child can succeed. Now, I've watched over these last few months as our campaign has gathered, well, the strength of a movement. It's not only the size of crowds like this, it's the depth of our shared conviction.